2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 21st of March. It's World Poetry Day. And a big happy birthday to Adrian Charles, Gary Oldman and Matthew Broderick. Vladimir Putin was busy dusting the spare room at the Kremlin on Monday as China's leader Xi Jinping arrived in Moscow for a 3-day visit. Since Russia's war with Ukraine began, he hasn't had a whole load of visitors, but China's president has peace talks on his mind as he hopes the world will take his 12-point plan for peace in Ukraine seriously. Spokesperson Wang Wenbin says it's time for a peaceful settlement.
It is China's consistent belief that dialogue and negotiation is the fundamental way to solve the Ukraine crisis, and that the international community should play a constructive part in the peaceful settlement of the crisis and do more things that are conducive to promoting peace talks.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who isn't a fan of either superpower, says Russia's talk of peace has no value and any ceasefire is just designed to give Vlad's troops a break.
The world should not be fooled by any tactical move by Russia. Such a move would violate the UN Charter and defy the will of 141 countries who have condemned Russia's war in the United Nations General Assembly.
Former UK NATO representative Lord Ricketts says the outstanding warrant from the International Criminal Court for the arrest of Putin won't even come up as a dinner table topic.
It still sends a very strong signal that the head of a major country is now under an arrest warrant for war crimes. I don't think we'll see him in The Hague in the International Criminal Court, honestly, anytime soon.
The Bank of England was quick to reassure depositors on Monday that there was no cause for concern with the UK banking system. That totally normal news followed a weekend where the Swiss government arranged a hurried rescue of the giant Credit Suisse as worries continue around the banking sector. It all started with the collapse of 2 US banks who dabbled heavily in the tech sector, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Their difficulties sparked alarm and flashbacks to the 2008 financial collapse, but this time regulators moved quickly, pushing the troubled Swiss bank into the arms of UBS. Marlene Amstad, Switzerland's financial markets regulator, spoke on Monday to absolutely definitely reassure nervous investors that the Credit Suisse swoop was not a bailout.
I have to state that very clearly. This is no bailout. This is a commercial solution because UBS is taking over Credit Suisse. We really wanted to avoid a bailout for different reasons.
Definitely not a bailout then, righty-ho. But the swift action does seem to have calmed the markets, and President of the Swiss Confederation, Alain Berset, said that the strong coordinated action by the Swiss Central Bank and regulators should solve the issue.
The Federal Council welcomes this takeover and is supporting it by guaranteeing the framework conditions necessary for its success.
Shaggy-haired millionaire Boris Johnson's due to face the music over Partygate this week as he testifies on Wednesday in front of the Commons Privilege Committee. The committee is made up of 7 MPs and chaired by Labour's Harriet Harman, and the principal thrust of their investigation is to discover whether or not his answers to the various Partygate inquiries constitutes contempt of Parliament. His defence team, led by the brilliantly named Lord Panic KC, are understood to be challenging the committee process and Harriet Harman's previous tweets. Labour MP Liz Kendall says that of course the former PM's going to blame everyone else.
This week we're just going to see what we've always seen with Boris Johnson, which is a man who will blame anybody else, anyone but himself, for his downfall.
The defence dossier is expected to be published before the hearing, but former Attorney General Dominic Grieve says Boris is going to have a lot of explaining to do, one way or the other.
So Mr Johnson's got a lot of explaining to do. And of course that is against the background of somebody who has a serial reputation for telling untruths whenever it suits him.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but we are running out of time to take action on climate change. That's the shocking/not shocking find from the latest report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, who say it's still possible for humanity to have a positive impact and that there are multiple feasible and effective options to do so. Mary Robinson, former UN Special Envoy on Climate Change, says there's been some positive change as renewable energy starts to gain serious momentum, but the situation does remain grim.
We are literally on the cusp of a cleaner, healthier, fairer world. We can get there, but we're headed for a 2.4 degrees world of warming at best. I can't get my head around why world leaders don't take this more as an absolute priority.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Ed Sheeran gets serious and Ted Lasso turns up at the White House. Right after this. Welcome back.
Thursday, we'll see the quarter-finals of the Women's Champions League kick off, with Arsenal women facing Bayern Munich, while Roma take on Barcelona. Otherwise, it's a week of international friendlies and Euro 2024 qualifying matches that sees England face Italy on Thursday and Ukraine on Saturday, while Scotland take on Cyprus and Wales take on Croatia. Welsh captain Aaron Ramsey says for the team it's a whole new era after a bruising World Cup.
It was a very sort of strange World Cup, and I think a lot of things naturally went through your mind afterwards, and a bit of time, a few weeks to digest it all, and you're ready to go again. So
Joe Biden's had some interesting visitors in the White House over the last couple of years. Olivia Rodrigo, BTS, John Legend and many more. It makes a change from the Trump days of Kid Rock and Kanye West. Well, Monday saw the cast of Ted Lasso take over the briefing room, coincidentally as their third season dropped. But the main cause of their visit was the chance to speak up for mental health. Take it away, Ted. Jason.
So, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter who you voted for, we all probably, I assume, we all know someone who has, or have been that someone ourselves actually, that's struggled, that's felt isolated, that's felt anxious, that has felt alone, right? And it's actually one of the many things that believe it or not, that we all have in common as human beings, right?
He's been a consistent menace to radio and live venues, now the ubiquitous ginger balladeer's heading to your set-top box. Ed Sheeran's just dropped the trailer for his new documentary called The Sum of It All. It's a genuinely warm and open look at his life from busker-selling CDs to multi-platinum global star, and it includes a look at the tough times, including his legal battles and the death of his friend and mentor Jamal Edwards. It's in 4 parts and hits Disney Plus on May the 3rd.
Ginger hair, really short. He stutters. That guy doesn't become a pop star. It's so unlikely.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.